Hello and welcome to the update video for January of 2022. Happy New Year, everybody! We did it! We escaped 2021, which was the year of Henry Stickmin, Danganronpa, and Toy Story 4. So, you know, quite an interesting year for this channel, but it was also the year of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, The Greatest Eternity Chronicles, and Halo Infinite. So, you know, it was a year full of extremes in both directions. Both ends of the spectrum had their share of content for the channel. But through all the ups and downs, you know, it was a year full of firsts for the channel and a wild ride from start to finish. I learned a lot about the way I make videos and how I want to do things moving forward, my schedule, my work ethic, and my workload in general. I spoke a lot more with my community in live streams and both in just comments in general. And I am ready to face the new year with optimism for my upcoming projects. So, there's definitely a lot of ground to cover, a lot of stuff to talk about before content for 2022 gets underway officially. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna stop blabbing on about nothing and get straight into the updates for this year. Alright, so first things first, let's start off by talking about the next three main LPs for the channel, and the first of which is Persona 5 Strikers. Now, to anybody in the comments who wants to ask me the question of, but wait, why are you playing Persona 5 Strikers? Didn't you hate the way Persona 5 ended? And you're correct, I don't blame you at all for asking that question, because it's a very good question to ask. Why am I playing Persona 5 Strikers when I very clearly was getting just a little bit fed up with some of the mechanics of Persona 5 towards the end of that game's runtime? And because, yeah, it was definitely a struggle. I'll admit, I definitely contemplated giving up on the game. Not very long, because I didn't want to leave another series unfinished last year, so I didn't contemplate it for long, but there was a period of time where I was like, man, I really do not want to do this, but I pushed through it, and it was worth it to get to the end, all in all, because the final ending of Persona 5 Royal was definitely worth the turmoil that it took to get to that point. And mainly because I may have considered giving up on the game, but I never considered giving up on the characters. As I said in the final episode, I love the characters of that game, with a few notable exceptions, from square one, and they were the sole element of that game that drove me to the finish line. I was getting very fed up with some of the story beats, just on a broad scale of like, oh, now you're fighting a giant sun god or whatever. I came for the personal element, not the fight a god thing. And then just on a smaller scale, the contrivances were getting out of hand, the logistics of everything started to fall apart, and of course the gameplay just drove me insane. The gameplay is probably, if I had to nail one thing that was going to push me over the edge, it was going to be the gameplay, but I stuck through it, and yeah, but with that all in mind, I probably won't play any other Persona games other than Strikers for a long time, if at all, because they'll be tackling an entirely different group of characters, and that's not to say that I won't like those characters too, but I don't know that it's worth getting to know a new set of characters if I have to deal with the same things that Persona 5 brought to the table. So, I just want to see what else in store for the Phantom Thieves of Persona 5 and what's next for those characters. Whatever may come of the gameplay, whatever is in store for me there, I want to see what comes next for those characters. Also, I've been told that I was told that the Persona 5 Strikers gameplay was radically different from that of Persona 5 base game and Royal, and having already recorded a week's worth of episodes for that series, I can already say that is definitely true. It's definitely different in a lot of areas, so I won't say, if you're new to the series, if you were watching Persona 5 for the first time, or playing it, if you were experiencing it for the first time through watching me play it, and you want to see that, you want to get that same experience for Strikers, I won't spoil exactly how things are changed up, just know that it's gonna be a different ride this time when it comes to Strikers. And I also won't say whether I think it's a good thing or a bad thing that things have been changed up until my LP premieres. You'll have to wait and see for yourselves. So yeah, it was, in conclusion, was it a rough ride in the home stretch of Persona 5? Yes, it absolutely was. But even though the final episode release, because you may be thinking, is it too soon to jump into a new game? Will you get fatigued if you start a new one? No, because even though the finale released yesterday, I did not record the finale yesterday. I recorded it weeks ago. So I've been done with Persona 5 for quite a while. I think I've distanced myself enough from the game to where I'm ready to I'm ready to jump back in and see what else these characters have, what else the universe has in store for these characters. And on that note, I should probably say, just as a blanket statement, Episode 1 of Persona 5 Strikers will release Monday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars, be there or be square. I'm excited to see what happens next. While we're on the topic of games that people didn't expect me to cover, my second Let's Play is going to be Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I know that when I finished my Ori and the Blind Forest Let's Play, I said that I would never play Will of the Wisps, because, for those who don't know, that game royally pissed me off with the over-reliance, the insane over-reliance, I should say, on insta-kill spikes everywhere throughout the levels, and rampant input delay throughout the entire game. But I did love that world. I absolutely adored the atmosphere, the music. They just swept me away. I was really in love with the actual world design of Ori and the Blind Forest, and so I didn't end up hating the game overall, but playing it was definitely a struggle, especially towards the end. But so I think that enough time has passed now that between my original Let's Play of Ori and the Blind Forest and now, that I want to give the series another shot, and I want to see what the second game is, because I mean, I have Game Pass, so Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes with Game Pass, so I may as well try it. I wanna see what happens next. I want to see how the gameplay evolves. I want to see what the sequel's like. Just generally speaking, I want to see what the sequel's like, and I think I've distanced myself enough from the original game to where I think I'm ready to give the second one a shot and see if my problems with the first game are alleviated in the second. So, yeah, if you were looking forward to me playing Will of the Wisps and were disappointed that I didn't last summer, great news. I'm playing the second game now, so that's that, I suppose. Episode 1 of that will release Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, mark your calendars. Now, for the third Let's Play that's going to be starting up on Monday, it's going to be the start of my Mario Kart arc for the channel. I mentioned earlier, or I can't say that anymore. I was going to say earlier this year. Can't say that anymore because it's 2022 now. I said last year that I was going to be playing through all the Mario Kart games because I had so much fun doing the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Let's Play last year, mainly because, one, it was an opportunity for me to just sit back for 15 minutes and play some Mario Kart, which is always a blast. Two, and more importantly, it was a great opportunity for me to just kind of talk about whatever for a little bit. Same reason I love doing my Mario Kart Wii Let's Play. It's just, I could just take in questions and topics and people in the comments section, for what people wanted me to talk about, what questions they wanted me to answer, topics they wanted me to cover in the Let's Play, and I could just give my thoughts on them as I was racing around the track. So I wanted to do that again for all the other games, because I've only ever played 2 Mario Kart games, or 3 if you want to get anal about it. I've played Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 8, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you count that as 3 separate games, then I played 3. But I consider Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to essentially be the same, because they are essentially the same, so I'm gonna just say I've only played 2 of the games. And the rest of them, I've never played. I know of some of the courses from them, because obviously I played the retro versions of them in Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8, but the actual games themselves haven't played, so I think that this will be a good opportunity for me to experience the other Mario Kart games for the first time. I think it'll be a fun time to do that here on the channel. Now, if anyone's concerned about the workload, about, like, tackling 3 Let's Plays at a time, when ordinarily I said I would stay away from that last summer, stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll give some updates on what I plan to do to combat that, essentially. And as for back to Super Mario Kart, I should say, I'm starting with Super Mario Kart. The first game I'm going to cover in the Mario Kart saga is Super Mario Kart, because that was the first one, that's what started it all, and so it only makes sense to start there. I'm going to cover that one, and episode 1 of that will release Monday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be a learning experience, because the controls are not going to be as refined as they are in Mario Kart 8 and even Mario Kart Wii, so I expect that. I fully anticipate that it's going to be a rough learning experience to get used to the controls of the original Mario Kart games, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge and just kind of seeing the series evolve over the years as we go through all the different games. I'm looking forward to that. And I guess I should also say, if you have any topics that you would like me to discuss or questions you want me to answer in the series, because it's going to be going on for months. It's going to take me months to get through all the Mario Kart games, so we got plenty of time to cover as many topics as we can. So if you have anything you want me to discuss, any questions you want me to answer, you can put them in the comments, and I will add them to the list of things to talk about throughout my Mario Kart videos. Just as a disclaimer, I already have the first week's worth of episodes recorded, so I won't be able to address anything you put in the comments until next week's episodes. Basically, for the first week of Super Mario Kart videos, I'm just going to be discussing all the topics I didn't get to address in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for that Let's Play, because there were still some topics at the end that I said I'd cover in a bonus episode that that I never made because I streamed it instead. So I'm planning on covering those topics in the first few episodes of Super Mario Kart, which I've already recorded. So you'd expect that. Also, let's not dive into politics. I'm okay with answering basically any question or covering any topic as long as we stay away from the realm of politics. Just steer clear of that, and I'm good to answer basically any question or cover any topic you want me to cover. So that's the plan there. Oh, also one more thing. I'm aware that Thomas J. Ashwell is playing the original Mario Kart games right now on his channel. I'm aware of that. I want it on a record that I planned to do this a long time ago. I planned that this would be the start of the new year. This would be my project at the start of the new year, was the Mario Kart arc. I planned that a long time ago, so please do not try to tell me that you got this idea from him. I planned this a long time ago, okay? Are we clear on that? Great. Done. Moving on now. Now for the more painful topic for today's video. The return of Super Mario Sunshine. So for those of you who joined my channel in the last few months, you may not be aware of this, but I attempted a Let's Play of Super Mario Sunshine last summer. Now, I say attempted because I never actually finished that Let's Play, mainly because recording it was pure pain the whole time. I hate it. I hate Super Mario Sunshine's slippery controls with a fiery passion. It felt like the game's camera and movement controls were actively fighting against me at every opportunity. But I still felt bad about not finishing it because I don't like leaving series unfinished. I kind of talked about that earlier with Persona 5. I don't like leaving series unfinished. So, in my first Mario Kart community stream last year, I said that if I reached 5,000 subscribers before the end of 2021, then I'd come back to finish Sunshine when I started, when 2022 started up by streaming the game. Well, we reached 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so I guess now it's time for me to make good on that promise. So yeah, I'll be streaming Super Mario Sunshine. I'm sure it will be very fun. I'm sure it won't be painful at all. But as a disclaimer, I will not be doing 100%. The stipulation for reaching 5,000 subscribers was not 100%. It was just technically it was just playing the game, I think. But I'm not gonna cop out. I'm gonna play the whole game. I'm gonna beat the game, you know, as in get to Corona Mountain and beat the final boss. I'm not gonna do the blue coins or the stupid pachinko machine or any of that bullshit. I'm gonna do what I have to do to beat the game, and then we're calling it there. I will not do the pachinko machine. There was no sub goal you could possibly conjure up that would ever get me to play the stupid pachinko machine ever again, because that level's actually broken. Do not play it, for the love of God. Anyway. Oh, one more thing. If you expect me to do the whole thing in one stream, don't. Please don't expect that, because I will not be able to do that. I'm sure I know I could, technically, because Sunshine's a very popular speedrunning game, so it's possible to do it in one sitting. But I don't want to do that because I hate this game's controls, and it's going to take me some time to get used to them again. So, I'm guessing it'll probably take me most of January, because I plan to do these streams weekly. Like, every week, every Sunday, I'll do a Sunshine stream. I'm guessing it'll probably take me the whole month to get it done. So, you know, more Sunshine streams to look forward to if you're into that kind of thing, I suppose. So yeah, on that note, first Sunshine stream is tomorrow. It's been scheduled on the channel for a while, but I'm just going to formally say tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be when the first Sunshine stream happens. I am simultaneously really looking forward, oddly enough, to giving the game another shot, and also absolutely dreading it. There will be pain. There will likely be rage. But there will also be hopefully plenty of fun conversations with people in chat, and I think that it's gonna be what makes this game a lot more tolerable than when I was just recording it by myself, is having a community in chat for me to interact with live. I think that's gonna make this whole ordeal a lot more manageable, so fingers crossed for that, I suppose. Speaking of live streams, I have another one scheduled for 1 week from today where I'm going to start up my 100% legendary run of Halo Infinite. I said in the December update of last year when I was talking about my plans for the game that I planned on doing a legendary playthrough of the game after my first blind heroic playthrough, where I just kind of soak up the story and enjoy my first playthrough. I was gonna do another playthrough where I do it on legendary. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to stream it or not, but I've decided now that I am gonna stream it. I'm gonna stream it now. I beat Infinite on the 16th, and honestly, I wanted to just jump into another playthrough immediately afterwards, just because I love the game so much. I wanted to just immediately get back in there and play it again. But I showed restraint, and I waited until now to do it because, 2 reasons. One, so I could preserve my reaction to the legendary ending, which I've heard is really, really significant. Like, it's gonna change things up a little bit for the future of the series. I don't know what it is. I've stayed, once again, stayed clear of all, I don't know how I've done it, but I've stayed clear of all spoilers for both for the main campaign and for the legendary ending. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it has in store for me, but I've heard it's got something interesting to reveal, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the second reason being that I just didn't want to wear myself out too fast. Like, I didn't want to get fatigued by the game by playing it twice back-to-back, so that's the other reason. I didn't initially, in case you're wondering why I didn't initially stream my first playthrough of the game, like, because I streamed my playthroughs of all the other Halo games in the week leading up to Halo Infinite. But the reason was because I just didn't want to risk being spoiled by some asshole in chat that popped in like, lol, spoiler of game, then disappeared just to be a funny haha. So, because the thing is, the whole game was out there. The plot of the game was leaked this summer because something was in the multiplayer tech preview files that someone data mined and found, which is great. The soundtrack was leaked a few months ago, and even soundtrack titles can give spoilers if you think hard enough about them. Popular YouTubers got early access builds, and then some lucky bastards got their pre-order copies of the game early. Like, they pre-ordered from GameStop or Target or whatever, and they're like, hey, we got it in early, you want it? Here you go, it's yours. Because that happened with me with books. Like, sometimes I'll pre-order a book and it'll get here like a month early. I don't know why, but it just does. So sometimes that happens and it's annoying. So yeah, the game was out there, so I didn't want to risk being spoiled by someone in chat. That, combined with just how the end of the Halo 3 stream went, that made my decision to not stream my first playthrough very easy. But for my second playthrough, when I don't have to worry about spoilers, I'm excited to stream the game again over the next few weeks because I had a lot of fun doing my Road to Infinite streams in November, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing the game a second time now that I know the broader strokes of the campaign story, because I loved it on the first playthrough, but I'm looking forward to seeing it again and kind of seeing all the things that lead up to that ending, and of course just playing the game is a fun time anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. And in case you're wondering, because I said it's going to be 100% run a Legendary, if you're wondering what earning 100% in Infinite consists of, it basically means, of course, I'll be doing all the main missions, obviously. I'll also be doing all the secondary banished outposts. I'll be rescuing all the Marine squads, shutting down all the propaganda towers, taking in all the high-value targets, finding every audio log, acquiring every Spartan core, unlocking every armor logger, scanning every form of an artifact, and collecting every skull. It's quite a tall order because there's a lot of stuff to do in this game, and this is also probably going to take me all the way through January. Like, because most like Sunshine, I'll be doing a Sunshine stream every Sunday and an Infinite stream every Saturday, so I'm guessing that both those games are going to take me through the entire month to get through them all. So there's that. And my first Infinite Legendary stream will be next Saturday, January 8th at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see you there. Alright, next up we're going to talk about some upcoming video essays for the channel. We closed out last year, because this is the first for me. Last year, I never made anything like this prior to November of 2020. And I'm still very proud of my Dragons of 3 video, but I made a lot more of that type of video in 2021 with just my Halo Combat Evolved video, my Danganronpa coverage from 2.5 to 3, to my Toy Story 4 series, to my What Ace Attorney Means to Me video, to my Free Guy video. I did a lot of these sort of more analytical style videos, which I never made any of these prior to that point, so definitely broke some new ground last year in this regard, and they're definitely stressful to make, but they're a lot of fun to make as well in some ways, so I'm looking forward to making more of this type of content moving forward. And as for what, I just want to give a quick little update as to what you can expect for these types of videos moving forward on the channel. So first of all, I want to make a video where I talk about the top 20 best games I've ever played. You guys probably know my top 10 favorite games list, but I've been wanting to make a more in-depth video where I actually go over the reasons why, like the specific reasons why I love each game on that list. And I also want to do the top 20 because even though I've talked about top 10, I've not talked about top 20 before, so that's even more games I can talk about as to what I consider to be the absolute best of the best and why I think that they deserve that title. Obviously I won't be able to say much more about stuff like Dragons of 3D or the Ace Attorney series because you know why I like the Ace Attorney games as much as I do. I've spoken about that to no end. And of course, Dragons of 3D I made an entire video about, so some stuff I may not be able to say much about, but there's some games that you might not expect to be in the top 10 or the top 20 best games, so I kind of want to talk about that, especially because most of my video essays have been largely negative recently, which I don't think is a problem with being critical when you make these types of videos, but I think it'll be refreshing for me to make a video that's more positive for a change, so I kind of want to look forward to that. Of course, on the other end of the spectrum, I also want to make a top 20 worst games I've ever played. because I made an off-the-cuff list of what I consider to be the 10 worst games I've ever played in my 4K subscriber Q&A video last year, only for me to then go on and spend the rest of 2021 playing some of the worst games of all time. So that list has needed a complete overhaul for a long while now. And I've seen some requests in the comments for me to remake that list and kind of see what it would look like now, taking into account a lot of the games I played in 2021. So I definitely want to do that at some point this year as well. Next up is Battle for Bikini Bottom vs. Rehydrated, which is a video I planned to get that out last October to celebrate the game's anniversary, because it came out October 31st of 2003, so I wanted to get it out on Halloween to celebrate that anniversary. But my Toy Story 4 series just took so much longer than I expected. It was so time consuming, and it ended up becoming way bigger than I ever expected that I just didn't have the time to do that. I barely had the time to make the Ace Attorney video that month, so unfortunately, I had to push it back to this year. I'm aiming to get that out by June 23rd, in time for the 2-year anniversary of Rehydrated's release date, because I really am passionate about this. I really want to go over what all the differences between the original game and the remake, and kind of how the strengths and weaknesses of each game that not a lot of people point out. So that's in production. I have all the footage recorded and on my computer, so all I gotta do now is all I gotta do now. The easiest part is recording the footage. I gotta refine my script to make sure it's all ready to go, record the commentary, audio editing, visual editing, you know the whole shebang. So I gotta take care of that. And then, of course, the big one that everyone is looking forward to is a critique of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. And here's an interesting fact. I planned to have this out on Christmas, and that was gonna be the big Christmas surprise, it was gonna be ready by Christmas, but then I had my November hiatus where I'm just like, I'm tackling too much at once, I can't do this, I need to stop, I need to take a break. Which is probably the best thing for my mental health, but not the best thing for getting videos out on time. So unfortunately, I could not get this video out to you guys when I wanted to, which is going to be the big Christmas surprise. But I hope I made up for it, because I pushed the Free Guy video back, thinking, okay, if I can't get this out by Christmas, I can at least get the Free Guy video out by then. I pushed it back, because obviously the Free Guy video was supposed to come out mid-November, but then I pushed that back to December to kind of make up for it. So hopefully you still got something good to watch on Christmas, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully you guys liked it, but that said, I am still working on Apollo Justice. I wasn't going to get it done before the end of the year. Well, at least after I took my break. The thing is, I could have done it before the end of the year, technically speaking, but I would have had to work overtime. I would have had to throw myself at that script and the editing timeline constantly. So while it may have technically been possible to get it done, we would have risked falling back into the territory of Danganronpa 3 to do that, which is not something I wanted to do. So, yeah, I decided it was better to just push it to this year and make it even better than it ever was going to be before. So I really wish I had more to say about this other than I'm working on it. I really wish I could say more than that, but yeah, that's all I can say right now, and I promise I will keep you guys updated on the progress of how production on that is going in each monthly update. But beyond that, just know that right now I'm working to make it as good as I can. And I have some other ideas for videos that I'm toiling about and what I might do in the future. I don't want to go into them yet, because if they don't end up panning out, then I don't want to get hopes up for nothing. But just know that I have more ideas that I'm working on in the background, but these are going to be the big ones you can look forward to at some point this year. And now for something completely different. There's an idea that I had for a potential series that I'm unsure about, as in, like, it could be the coolest thing in the world, or it could be the lamest thing in the world. It's basically just an idea where I go, because I have a big, you know those game cases that you had when you were a kid, where you just had, like, pages and pages of 2x2, or in some cases 1x2, game slots to put your discs in. I still have that for all my Wii games, and I have, like, almost 100 of them. So I had an idea where I could just like play every Wii game I own for like 15 minutes or something, just to see, because I have, like, obviously the obvious problem here is that there'd be some games I've covered for, like Super Mario Galaxy and Wii Sports and stuff like that. But I also own a lot of really random Wii games that no one has ever heard of before. And there's also some obscure games that I actually like if no one's ever heard of them before. But there's also just a lot of crap, just a lot of shovelware, the crappiest of shovelware. So, you know, I think it could make for a fun series, just to kind of go through my Wii games library and see, because I haven't played some of those games in over a decade. I think it could be fun to kind of revisit them and see if I just kind of revisit some of the games I played when I was younger for a little bit, just to see. I don't know, I'm not super committed to the idea, like, I'm not totally emotionally attached to it, so just let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you think that would be cool for a series, or if you think that'd just be the dumbest thing in the world. I'm not emotionally attached to it, so I'm more than open to hearing either way, whether you think it's great or a dumb idea. Let me know. I think it could be cool, but it really depends on whether you guys want to see it or not. Now, the last thing I want to cover before I wrap things up today is going to be my new upload schedule. Because as you may have noticed, I'm back to doing 3 LPs again. 3 LPs to start off the year are going to be Personified Strikers, or In the Will of the Wisps, and the Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart. So, for those who were around since last summer, you know that I stopped doing that around the time of Greatest Journey Chronicles, just because I needed to make the workload easier on me. It was getting to be too much for me to tackle that consistently. But I think I'm ready to start doing that again, because I'm cutting back slightly on the number of videos that I release per week. And what I mean by that is that usually I release a video, barring exceptions where I just can't get a video out in time. I release one video for each series every day of the week, Sunday through Saturday. But I'm shifting to a Monday through Friday release schedule for the main LP videos, and then Saturday and Sunday are going to be reserved for live streams. So I think that this is a nice compromise where that allows me to cover more games at once while still allowing the weekends as a chance for me to catch up on any recording I didn't get done during the week. So it's not as overbearing a workload. It basically just allows me to, in case there's ever a day where I can't record something, I have the weekend to be able to catch up on that ground and not feel like I'm constantly trying to catch up. That's the game plan here, because when I was doing a daily release schedule for all those things, it kind of felt like it was too much to keep up with that at any given time. So I think this is going to be a nice middle ground between those two things. Also, it allows me to dedicate 2 entire days of the week just to live streams as opposed to doing them more sporadically, because more people can make it to live streams during the weekend, and I had a lot of fun streaming towards the end of 2021, whether it be the Greatest Journey Chronicles, Mario Kart, Road to Infinite, the Game Awards. That was a fun stream. For none of the reasons that the Game Awards people wanted it to be fun, but I digress. It was a blast to do. So I want to do it more. I don't want to do it sporadically. I want to do that more regularly because I've had a lot of fun interacting with people in chat when I did streams last year. So I want to do it more regularly. Saturday is probably going to be the more casual of the 2 streams, whether it be just playing Halo or playing Battle for Bikini Bottom or Dragons 3D. It's basically just going to be me playing a game I'm familiar with and a game that I can play just kind of in the background, where I just go on autopilot mode through what I play, and then I can just focus on talking to chat for a while. It would also be a good chance to do community streams occasionally, where like we can all play a game together. That's kind of what Saturday would be reserved for. But Sunday will be a chance for me to play through games that are better suited for a live stream format, such as Sunshine. Which I don't, basically, what I mean when I say live stream format is either one of 2 things. Either a game which I don't think I'd be able to tolerate playing without a community watching live to talk with, such as Sunshine, where I would never play that game by myself if I wasn't streaming, because good God, end me. Or the second category would be categories or games that I have planned for the future that wouldn't really be worth a full LP, but would work nice for a stream. And I don't want to go into too much about what types of games I have in store, because there's some... I'm going to be pulling from some of the games that people suggested in that community post I made a couple months ago. Because I think there's some games that look really cool, but that won't really work well for an LP, or that are short enough to where I can do it in one stream or something like that. So I definitely have some plans for streaming one-off games and stuff like that for the future, or even just longer games that are better suited for a live stream format for Sunday, and then Saturday I'll be a more casual stream. I think overall, this is a nice balance between making the daily LP content and making the weekend livestream content to kind of balance it out and give a little bit of each type of content throughout the week, and also cut back on my workload to make it easier on me. And above all else, I'm excited to see how this all pans out as we head into the new year, and I hope you guys are excited as I am to see how things evolve as we move forward. And with that, that's all I have to say for this update video. I say all, but we're at half an hour and I covered a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's all the topics that I wanted to cover, breaking down the new LPs, the new streaming schedule and stuff like that. So hopefully you found this informative. Hopefully this is giving you a better idea of what to expect for the channel moving forward. Hopefully you're as excited as I am to see what we have in store for 2022. And above all else, that's going to be it for today. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all tomorrow for my Return to Sunshine stream. Goodbye.